I think Merkel is one of the finest leaders that Europe has created, but I'm afraid that in the last 12 months she's destroying her legacy and doing a terrible thing to Europe. Part of it is the motivation to try to make up for the Holocaust and to show that Germans are today a different people. But what she's doing is she's bringing into Germany an element which I fear will bring out the worst of society. They already have enclaves of extremist Islamic elements, and to bring another million people in like that, it can destroy the fabric of society, not only of Germany, but of Europe. And I think that what she's doing is catastrophic. And I say that as a Jew who is very sensitive to the issue of refugees. Most of these people are not refugees. Most of these people are looking to economically improve themselves. And I believe that what she's doing here with her own society is very, very unfortunate and sad.
Why are people projecting the underdog position of the Jews in pre-war Europe on Muslims nowadays?
I think there's a natural tendency today to try to identify with what is seen to be the underdog. And the whole of the area here has become so turbulent and has gone back to the dark ages that everything has gone upside down. Now, the real problem is the region. This region has to be rectified. There has to be steps taken to bring about stability, and the way to do that is not by just allowing the Soviet Union, the Russians and the Americans to use that as a battlefield, but the area that should be looked at is to bring about stability and to eliminate and recognize the fact there is such a thing as Islamic fundamentalism, which is a threat to the world and to society at large. And it's not just the Sunnis, it's just equally the Shiites. So when Bush talked about a war against Islamic terrorism, which Obama has dissociated himself from, I think Bush was right on the ball. And until we face that reality, we're going to have a lot of troubles. My view is that these refugees should, above all, be assisted by their own neighbours. If there is a refugee problem, you've got Saudi Arabia with huge empty areas. You've got the Gulf states with economic opportunities, and they tell us that they don't want to let them in because there's security risks. Well, if there's security risks for their own people, what sort of security risks are there for the Europeans? That's the questions we have to ask ourselves. And there's an element of illogic here. There's a kind of a guilt feeling which is transcending common sense. Ultimately, one has to ensure that one looks after oneself. And there's another issue. It's the issue of multiculturalism. Multiculturalism is a marvelous thing. I've always been a proponent of it. But multiculturalism can only apply when all the parties are committed to an open society. Once you have an element that is in a multicultural society which is using freedom and all the other factors to undermine that society, then multiculturalism becomes null and void. And unfortunately, that's what's happening in Europe with the Islamic extremists.